Well, good evening. How are you two doing?
Hello. Good.
Good, yeah. Nice.
So, well, you're just about to kick off this UK tour of a mighty 3 days. Why 3? Why only 3?
Well, I suppose it's down to everybody's availability. You know, there's other bands, there's jobs, there's families and shit. You know, this is a side project in a way. You know, so we got to make time for it, and we just had this window of time that we decided to do. So yeah, that's why. So there's only a lucky few.
It's also right before Christmas, so
Yeah.
it's like a scheduling. Yeah.
Now, well, neither of you, I don't think, were in the band from the very beginning, but could you explain how Lock Up became?
Well, yeah, as you say, none of us were in the band, so. But I think the whole idea was to have a project where you could actually do pretty much whatever you wanted, and
Yeah, I think there was a lot of booze involved as well. They were probably sitting down drinking vodka or whatever, drinking vodka and listening to Venom.
yeah,
And fucking, you know.
let's do something old school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if you remember, around that time was when, you know, this was the whole new metal wave as well. So it was like a reaction to that as well. I think, yeah, fuck that, you know, and let's bring back some Possessed and some cool shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'll be right down with you.
you did mention that Lock Up was a side project. So, Lock Up, is it going to be, well, you've just released your 3rd album. Is this a sign that Lock Up are going to be more active in the future, or is it just going to stay as an on-off kind of side project?
Well, the reason why there wasn't a new album for quite some time is obviously that Jesse passed away, you know, and it's not an easy thing, I suppose, to replace a band member that dies, you know. So, well, you could probably say more about that, you know, but I don't know. I mean, for me, as long as there's 4 people on stage or in the rehearsal room or in the studio making music together, it's a band.
Yeah.
I mean, you can call it a side project or whatever, but it's a band, effectively, you know. And I think we're all enjoying it pretty much,
Yeah.
you know, so...
I mean, it's just like every band should be first and foremost about having fun. But if you have what you would call a main band, as in having a career with a band, there's certain things you got to consider.
Well, it's priorities, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And whereas we can just concentrate on having the good time, you know, more when we can. And project is a kind of a bad word, but you know, it's we do it when we can and when we want, you know.
Yeah, like a jam band or something like that.
Yeah.
So, well, you, Thomas, joined the band for the 2nd album. How did you know the previous guys who? How did you all meet up?
Yeah, it was, I think I was kind of like, you know, off there for a while after the Gates broke up, so I was kind of unavailable for a while, and me and Shane didn't talk for a while, and then when I heard that record, I thought it was really interesting, you know. And then pretty much after the record, I think Peter said like, yeah, he couldn't do it as much as the other guys wanted to. So yeah, I jumped at the chance because, you know, the music and also like the friendship, you know, like almost like an excuse hanging out, you know.
Did you get to tour much after Hatebreed Suffering?
Not much, but you know, we did a few things here and there. We did a UK thing. We did a Japanese tour, some festivals. You know, could always be more, but I mean, I don't really grieve it that much because what we did was fun. You know.
So, well, the band members are from 3 different countries. There's 2 from the UK. You're from
Chile.
Well, from Chile, but I think you live in North America somewhere.
No, in Spain. No.
Oh, in Spain now. And you're from Sweden. So how do you all write the songs together now?
Well, it doesn't take us long to write, you know. I bring some ideas to the table, and Shane brings other riff ideas basically to the table. Then we get together with Nick and start working on them, you know, start arranging stuff whenever we have time, you know. I mean, when we have like a string of dates like this one, you know, we get together a bit earlier and work on stuff, you know, arrange stuff, and then Tomas comes in and puts his lyrics to them, and yeah, it's not a big deal, really. I mean, people always ask these questions: how do you do it logistically and stuff?
I suppose the internet helps as well.
We don't really communicate much over the internet, not in terms of sending files and shit like that. I mean, yeah, we send basic ideas, this and that, and then yeah, it's cool, it's not. But the main thing, I mean, the funny thing is that the last album, you know, we wrote most of the stuff. I mean, we arranged all the stuff in Nick's rehearsal room here in Sheffield, and we actually recorded the songs on like a boombox, like a fucking ghetto blaster, you know, like old school on a cassette, and then we would listen back to it in the evening, having some beers. Yeah, this could be better, blah blah blah. You know, like really old school.
Yeah, it's just like that, you know. As we're professionals and old guys, we do it faster, you know, because we've done it so many times.
Maybe you just don't overanalyze things.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Grindcore. I mean, I was still surprised that Shane and Nick, they think a lot about the songs. You know, oh, this riff could go here, or maybe we repeat it a few more times, or whatever. And I'm like, does it really matter that much? I don't know. I mean, but I'm the new guy, so I just shut up. You know,
if it feels good, it feels good. You know, yeah.
So, well, you played at the Domination Festival 2 years ago in Leeds. I think that was supposed to be, well, it was billed as the last ever lock-up show. I mean, you've probably been asked this before, but why am I sitting in front of you now? Why are you carrying on?
Well, I mean, it was the last lock-up show it was supposed to be, but it was also, you got to remember, it was the first show we did with Anton, and we didn't. I mean, I don't think we. Not saying that we didn't think it was going to be fun, but it was much more fun than we expected. And then, you know, we actually jammed some new riffs by accident almost, and like, this is too much.
Yeah, I think it was also, I mean, for the guys it must have been weird, you know, to play with someone else that wasn't Jesse, you know. So they probably had to, you know, test the grounds first, you know, see if it was cool or not, you know, and just basically, you know, feel it instead of just thinking about it, you know.
We knew pretty much beforehand, though. You know. He's being a bit.
Would you ever want Grindcore to get more recognition than just in the underground?
No.
Underground is good. I mean, rather the other way around, you know, like, you know.
Metal in itself has become far too mainstream, I think, you know. There's a few bands that I really fucking hate and that are worse than fucking pop bands in my eyes, you know. Some of that overproduced Swedish shit, you know, that, you know who I mean, you know. And yeah, Grindcore is just fine where it is, you know. Of course it would be nice to get some more money for playing, but it is what it is, and it's absolutely fine.
Well, I mean, I asked that question because last year you played at the Wacken Open Air in front of tens of thousands of people. I mean, how does that compare to a more intimate Grindcore show like We'll Get Tonight?
That's two different things, really, isn't it? I mean, of course, it's more intensity with a small crowd.
Yeah.
But
But then at the festivals you get more people that maybe wouldn't pay a ticket just to see you, but who are there and say, well, let's check him out, you know. So and some people, I think, are surprised when they come see us, because with all the grind extremity and everything, you know, it's still pretty tight and pretty, you know, it sounds good. It's
good
not,
songs.
Yeah, it's not a barrage of noise, you know. It's I mean, it is in a way. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, Lockup played at the Wacken Open Air in 2000. You were, was that your first show with the band?
Second, we did a warm-up show in Birmingham in front of like 30 people.
So, well, how would you judge the success of these summer festivals, these music festivals over the last decade? They've grown so much.
Yeah, there's quite a few festivals now, isn't it? I think, I mean, in a way, we talk about like metal being not underground anymore. But I mean, at the same time, I have a blast, you know, when I go to
Yeah, I mean, it just from an economic point of view, it makes sense for people to pay I don't know, 100 quid or something like that for 100 bands, you know, 1 quid per band, you know.
Yeah.
You don't get to see them all, obviously, you know, but you know what I mean, you know, it's expensive to go to club shows, and sometimes you just want to see one band out of 3 or something like that. So you know what I mean.
Yeah, the festivals are a good idea.
Yeah, but people get to party. I mean, I work at a festival in the summer, you know, at Summer Breeze in Germany, you know, and I know there's quite a few people who just go there for the party. They don't give a fuck about the bands. They just set up their tents, their grills and whatever, do the barbecue shit, you know, and just sit there and get pissed all day. Well, it's up to them, you know.
Well, a straightforward question, probably been asked a few times, but how does playing in Lockup compare to your own bands?
Well, I don't know. It's different. I mean, as I said, it's the non-reflecting is good. You know, not thinking too much, over analyzing. That's the whole idea, isn't it? Like, you know, a bit more just straight on. You know, as we grew up with. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's a bit harder actually. I need to focus more. I can't bring too much before the show because it's so busy and so fast, and I just need to be really focused on what I'm doing. Otherwise, it all goes to shit. Believe me. I mean, the most critical member is obviously Nick. If Nick fucks up, but he never fucks up, does he? So the next one is me, you know. If I fuck up, things can go pretty bad, you know?
I can fuck up, that's no problem.
So, well, a quick question about At the Gates, if you don't mind, because you were you were in a kind of a similar situation in 2008, where the tour was supposed to be, you know, the last At the Gates tour was a farewell and all the rest of it. But now you played the Bloodstock and you did a whole tour this year. So why has there been more activity from At the Gates, and is there going to be more in the future?
Somehow those 3 years after 2008 up until this year felt, you know, as long as the 12 years before that, you know, because we had so much fun in 2008. It was like, you know, we were starting to itch straight away, you know, and we just regretted that, you know, we said too much about the final thing, you know, because it was so much fun. But we're not going to overdo it. We're not going to overstay our welcome at all. Now we're going to focus on the areas where we haven't been before. South America, you know, Australia, all those areas maybe. And we'll see what happens. I won't say too much, but I mean, we won't overdo it.
But are you going to do another album or not?
It haven't been discussed at this point. No. It's too scary.
So, what's next for Lockup? You're touring Scandinavia, you're touring North America. How long do you think Lockup will be on hold until a next album or a next tour after this?
Well, we've already started writing, you know. We're already doing riffs, you know. Nothing, you know, we're not getting together to write, but each on his own, we're doing stuff, you know. And I don't see us taking a very long time to do a next album.
No,
I mean, maybe 2013 could be out.
I think we got a more like functioning machine rolling right now. So many things, like for Anton's more precision, both playing and more structured lifestyle and all that. You know, we got more focus. So yeah, we look forward to doing another album with it. Yeah.
Right then, well, it's almost Christmas. I'm excited.
My kid's excited. So
yeah, mine too. But that's it. Yeah.
That's enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, what is the best thing about Christmas for you two?
The food, the beer.
I mean, it's different for different people, you know. I have the memories of all my family getting together, you know, and my grandfather would always hold this speech, like hold a toast to, you know, to the people who are not with us anymore. It was very, very nice, very emotional, you know, and you know, for us kids, obviously the presents. And so I think it's something that's easy to dismiss and laugh about, especially when you're, I don't know, 20 or something like that. Oh, fuck that shit. But when you're younger, you appreciate it, and when you're older, you appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Do you have any last words for the people watching this?
Anton?
Play fast or die.
Yeah. That's it basically. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.